Day 15.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. I'm here with Streamrolla, my better half, and we are continuing RPG A Day 2025.
Hello.
Yes, it is day 15, and today's prompt is Deceive.
Yes, that's an interesting word, isn't it?
It is an interesting prompt. I don't know if it's an
Because if you
interesting
want to go
word.
by the literal, it's an interesting word because it can mean different things. It can
Mhm.
mean to cause someone to believe something that is not true, typically in order to gain some personal advantage, or it could mean that you are giving a mistaken impression to somebody or failing to admit to yourself that you've deceived yourself into thinking something.
Yes, yes, it is an interesting topic because it is hard to deceive savvy players, I think. But I've done it, surprisingly.
You
And I
you
can give a
have
war
done it,
story.
but
I
it's
could,
very easy. It's yeah, but it's very easy for a player to deceive themselves into thinking like a hook that you give them is the direction they should go.
yeah, and it becomes complicated, especially in modern games, because they have skills that, like bullshit detector, which I think is the best name for rooting out a deception. It's a skill in Ashen Stars. It's a gumshoe system game where the deception roll or to detect deception is called bullshit detector. That's the best. But there is like deception to detect deception. In some games, there's perception to detect deception. Sometimes it's a opposed roll. And I think that's what's more fun to me is like role playing it out and seeing what the characters
Hmm.
believe or not. Although I guess at some point they can default to a role. But to me, the best example of that, and I don't think you can do this often, right? You can't do this constantly. You can't always have some NPC betray the player characters because it gets old, it gets annoying as a player, and then it becomes like I've heard comments like, "Well, this GM, you can never trust an NPC from this particular GM because he's always going to betray us in the end, or they're always going to betray us in the end." But you could use it once in a while, and once in a while it's pretty fun, and I think it keeps players on their toes. And then maybe the next time you don't have to betray or deceive the players. The best time, unless you have a war story for me,
Mm-mm.
the best
Well, I,
time,
I don't know that it's a war story, but you can go ahead.
well, war story is like, a tale from the gaming past. But with the home group, some time ago, we were playing Edge of the Empire using the Edge. It used to be Fantasy Flight, now the Edge system, the one with the fighty dice that people, uh, grognards especially, would complain about. But there is this they went to this mining station and the droids the droid said they're pirates back there, we you got to help us. They took all the and the droids were like powered down or they were like whatever, and they turned on this like R2 unit droid or astromech droid, and it said yeah, the pirates, they're hurting the peoples. They captured the peoples and left us and turned us all off, la la la. And it turned out that it was the droids that that were in rebellion. They're part of the android rebel or the droid rebellion in the Star Wars universe, and they had driven the miners slash colonists into the back of these mining caves, right? And their goal was to then steal the player's ship
Mhm.
and then get out of there. And the players they didn't realize that until too late, and then they had to scramble back to fight these. All of a sudden, all the droids were up, and they had to fight them and stuff like that. And they don't know all of the permutations and the endings, so it was kind of funny. So they still to this day, although if they listen to this, maybe they'll be like, "Huh, maybe we got to go revisit that." But that was a game a long time ago, and we haven't
Mhm.
played it for a while. But that was really awesome because I think they underestimated the droids. They didn't think, "Oh, they're just droids. They're not good." Yeah, of course they wouldn't lie, but they totally deceived them, which was great. Any any tales from your
Oh
gaming
yeah.
past,
I
Amy?
mean, I yes and no. I mean, I think back to like Pendragon
Hmm.
when my character attacked, but she was attacking to try and save her love.
Yep.
So she had to deceive him
Mm,
to protect him. So,
right.
I mean, it's one of those sometimes your option to succeed is to deceive. And at the
Interesting.
same time, sometimes deception is outright deception, but the result of something else like a spell. Like
Yeah.
I believe that there's magic spells that you can cast that either make an illusion in front of you so
Hmm.
that you think you see more than one of the same person. You're deceiving them into
Yeah.
fighting something other than you,
Hmm.
or even like the Jedi mind tricks where
Right.
they
These aren't
have
the,
you think something else. You don't have any control over that because that's a trait that they have. So deception is exactly what the root says it is. It's to change somebody's mind or to implant something into their
to
minds there.
trick their minds.
But is that always the wrong thing to do?
No, I think we played recently a play test of what is it, Project Psyche, but
Yes.
with D. McKinney and Kismet Games,
Mm-hmm.
and that the whole heist, it was a heist. I love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
heists, right? And a heist is predicated on deception, right? You gotta, finagle your way into, not get into a fight, and get the job done. And we did. It was like a fantastic heist. We really worked well. The three-player characters worked well to really get the job done from the outset. Our cover story, getting in there, really not using our abilities until absolutely necessary, and really trying to shirk from triggering them or using them, but using our wiles, to complete the mission. I thought that was very rewarding that we were able to do that. And even I can think of a traveler game that we ran a long time ago that was it was a rescue mission, and it was less fighting and more sneaking and deception, and cover story. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was great how that worked. So fun
Oh,
stuff, I think.
absolutely. And I would think that the key indicator to any great spy game is the
Mm.
deception.
Right, right. We played Top Secret recently, and that was the cover story, and the
Very,
and the trickery, the manipulation slash deception was part and parcel.
and that's true in a lot of apocalyptic games as well,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
would say. Or like for example, in Dungeons and Dragons, I play a changeling.
Mm,
So the whole purpose of that character is to deceive
right.
and to manipulate the truth.
To
So,
hide, right? To hide
oh,
really from
uh,
society in a way.
hmm So I would say deception is one of the key components to just about any RPG game.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's a key component, but it's a very important component to have in your wheelhouse.
It's how you use it.
Right.
Hmm Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, Stream Rolla, and we'll talk to you next
You're
time.
welcome.
Good
See you
night.
tomorrow and good rolling.